is absolute dynamite. And boom, it goes.
And boom, the layout goes. Slusta and Dekran are on the move. To Dekran! Good morning and welcome back to London for the London Invite, of course. Thank you for joining us, being with us here on ULTI.TV, bringing you the action, the first look into the Open Division. Host team Clapham taking on their neighbors from Paris, Iznogood, a team I'm very familiar with. My name's Stef Pazzo, alongside Alana Archer. Lonzy, as I like to call her from time to time. How are you, Alana?
I'm doing well. We just had the other French team here, Yaka, on stream. That was a good game against Smog.
How did that one end?
Smog won. I believe it was 13-7.
Okay, tight match, or not even. That's a big win, in fact.
Yeah, it was a game of energy and abusing mistakes.
Okay. Clapham with the disc and a turnover there, throwing into a bunch of traffic. A foul's been called by Josh Briggs, indicated by JB Simon. And
looks like Red tried to get an arm in there. Couldn't really see from our camera angle as to.
I mean, you saw he went around the body, right?
Yeah, how much contact, but it looks uncontested. Briggs with the disc now.
Briggs known for that power forehand, waits for Mead to spin around. And goes back to Long. Long inside Modiano and Wilson. Ford now on the doorstep. Justin Ford chisels. Modiano looks up and gets. That's Long for the goal, and Clapham put the first one on.
Loving seeing Oscar Modiano back on the field after a pretty brutal injury. Love that he's getting through his recovery and back on the Frisbee pitch. Looked a bit poachy there for the first half from Iznogood.
Yeah, they were definitely doing something. I almost thought it was a zone for a second. It certainly wasn't, but there was a moment. Really, the Briggs foul there.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what's going on here? There's a clustering of defenders.
I couldn't figure it out either, but something to keep an eye on.
Indeed.
Whether it's just a poach for the first half or handless sack type situation, but it felt quite everyone was quite close and clustered and a bit panicky, but maybe it's just the faster pace of open versus watching some women's.
So Iznogood will receive their first pull. Of course, a team I'm familiar with. I coached this outfit for 2 seasons going into the 2022 World Championship. A classic Paris-London battle. They don't get to the top of the rankings, but have given Clapham headaches over the years.
Yep.
And a high floater, and great reception there to keep it alive. Luca Bouchon will be one to watch. He will take the risks. Ulysse Rouillard now upfield. That one to Dauvois and back to Bouchon. Big fake on every throw from him. Into the middle. Charrier. Bouchon. Bouchon continues to fake. Nice take. Going to ground there by Gibert. A very revamped Izno roster in the last couple of years. They are investing in youth here. There are a lot of youngsters. Iznogood, in fact, Alana, I'm not sure you know, won the French, a big game in the French National Championship Series last week against Chalk. That counted in the ECS ranking. It was a huge win.
Yeah, that is a big win.
Bouchon.
Frustrated with no cuts and then got multiple at the same time.
And that one thrown away. Nathan Ragg. Oh, Bouchon came flying, but Eels hangs on. Ragg sends up, looking for Yo. He's boxed on both sides, and that was enough to prevent.
A foul's been called.
By Yo?
Yep. By the defender that came to his back. There was a bit of a push, but
I don't know if I love that.
I don't know if I
love that foul call.
There was some in the disc.
There was some contact, but he was going up, and I thought he was entitled to the space he was going up for.
And this is actually not Ash Yo, I don't think. I think it's Neil McCullough.
It is indeed Neil McCullough.
But it looks like the foul was retracted.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the way we both saw it.
I'm going to be honest, even if there was a foul, I don't know if it would have affected the outcome. I think the disc might have sailed over the head anyway. But you never know.
So Izno will get a second chance to hold now. Around break, misses the mark. Magnus Wilson goes to Eels. Eels chips forward. McCullough motions to the corner. Doesn't take it, then does find. And it's Eels. The little nugget cashes in a goal to put the first break on the board.
And I like that. I think that's an aggressive, quick pace from Clapham after the turn. Sometimes you see teams in general try and fast break and people aren't ready for it, whereas this, it seemed like everyone's on the same page and they're ready to go as soon as there's a turnover.
And Tyke Bogan Carey fan club, that's Sam Murphy in the chat. I think Tyke Bogan Carey, what I was told, has suffered an injury in training this week, so is on the field but is not suited up, and Sam's gonna have to pick somebody else to cheer for. Thank you to everybody watching. You are members. Thank you for becoming a member and watching on this platform more here at the London Invite. You have so much action coming your way. Of course, we will still remind you to like and subscribe. That is still something you can do as a member. So there is your reminder.
Like and subscribe.
Alana, you got games that you're most excited for this weekend? Anything that's jumping off the schedule or to call, or there's a whole bunch of awesome teams here. What's most exciting for you, Alana?
I mean, it's hard to beat seeing some of the World Games action. Never really seen any of the World Games teams.
It does
play in front of you, and it's one of those things that you may not see them again.
Exactly,
so,
it's the top of the top, isn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, I think that those have to be, they get the cake, but there's a lot of other good club teams here though too, that matchups like this, that as much as you'd know kind of like through the course of the season, some of these can have a big implication as to how the rest of the year might go.
Yeah, and there's some UCS rankings involved in this tournament. I believe this game will be.
I think it is.
As that one sends deep and collected. Nice catch there by Dauvois to keep that one alive. And I think Iznogood really needed that. They got broke once early and can't afford to get too far behind against a team like Clapham.
Definitely. And that was a phenomenal grab. Almost blocked in the lane by Ollie Gordon. But looked painful almost the way he came down on his shoulder, but shaking it off, jumps right back up. What about you? Do you think you have any games that you're stoked for?
Well, you know that I'm also part of a team here, Alana, so I applaud that question. Thank you very much. The Tokay SuperTeam is a team that I will be watching, and as all of our games are very exciting, but the showcase tonight, there will be great showcases on all 3 pitches tonight, but yes, on the main pitch, the Tokay SuperTeam taking on USA is a mouth-watering affair that I am for one am most certainly excited about.
Yeah, I do think that'll be a good one. If I'm not calling a game, I will be watching it.
They'll probably be
With
calling
a
a game.
I'll probably be calling a game.
If I remember the scheduling, but
I'm sure I will be calling a game.
James Mead goes to Justin Ford. Ford to Yo, and Yo to Briggs. And now a stall count. Mounts. Simon on the mark. And it really got mounting, but they do swing it all the way across to Justin Ford, and now Josh Briggs, and he does not deploy the rocket forehand, but uses it to go forward to Modiano, gets it back a few meters out now. Finds a seam in the middle. It's Conrad Wilson with a goal for Clapham.
Again, that zony, poachy look, especially on the handless. It got to be a handless sack of some sort coming out from Iznogood's D-line there. And it did cause quite a fluster on that far sideline. We had it in the last game. This is a crosswind pitch, with that being the low side. A lot of discs popping up on those specifically flick resets that can get a bit dodgy, but Clapham came out of that one fine. But something just to watch, I think, could be a good strat, trying to put pressure on those resets back there.
Let's see if Izno reacts as such. Early days of the game here, 12 minutes in. A reminder, these are 70-minute games. If the game is within 1, they will have a +1 to the highest score points cap. If not, it will be over as the 70-minute point ends. Otherwise, it is a points cap to 15, I say with a question mark. I believe it is fit to 15.
I think it is 15 because the last game was to 13, and there were questions about if they had another point to play.
Bouchon swings into the backfield. Gibert. Bouchon again. He sends the big one. It's fading. Gibert is there. Great chase, not in on the line here, and in the corner, coffin corner, with the wind pushing towards them. An upwind throw to get off the line, but they do. Nice throw to center to Bouchon, and hands forward. But I like the no throw there. The defense was hunting for that one. Nice around throw, beautiful by Caligaro to find Bouchon for the goal.
I'm always in awe of throws like that, throwing while body is halfway on the ground.
Yeah,
I'm always scared.
pivot.
It's like, if you don't get that out, I'm just laying on the ground.
Yeah, you gotta do like a little bacon sizzle to start getting yourself up there.
That one brings the score to 2 for Izno, 3 for Clapham. 1 early break, but they're staying in it.
So Coach Carson's got eyes on some of the youth matchups. He's hoping to see a Hill-Gibert matchup. The two of them will be in Trnava in Slovakia later this year for the EYUC. And we'll keep our eye on that if we do get it. 2 promising youngsters for both GB and France.
Are they both going to U24s as well in Spain next week?
Pardon me?
Are they both going to U24s next week?
That I'm not sure. I do not believe I saw Gibert on the under-24 roster for France. Sam Hill, I do believe, is on
Yes,
the under 24.
Sam Hill is going. I didn't know about the French team. I don't know all the rosters. Oh, great work there by the Iznogood D-line, chasing down that pull and getting in between that centering pass.
Would be a huge break. Oh, and they just miss. It will not be a huge break, or at least not right now.
Not yet.
And Clapham try again. Abrams to Nugent, one of the tournament directors here. Doing a bang-up job. He goes up line to Brooking. Brooking to Nugent. Brooking again. Brooking to Abrams. Uh-oh.
And that's that reset that I was speaking about earlier, especially on that flick side. You see a lot of them are popping up.
Wind wreaking havoc for both squads here as the pickup comes for the man. And no throw can go. East tries to bust quick, but does get covered up. Nugent goes to center. There's Sam Hill. Now East. Charging under, Brooking. And then to East. Ooh, just around to Brooking. High. And it's going to go out again. And another chance for Iznogood.
Caution on those flicks. The upwind flicks are looking tough today. I wouldn't want to be stuck on that sideline. No, thank you.
A tough spot to be. Swirling winds a little bit right now. Trying to watch some of the flags. They have changed a couple times, but mostly from behind our cameras, pushing back into the stadium that you see. Oh!
Ooh.
Nugent takes a bid, but it's Chris Red who hangs on. Now Simon. Leads upfield. Quinton. And that one goes to Garnier. Fired deep and too far. Chris Red will wisely run to stop the roll before it turns back the other way.
That's a veteran move.
Veteran move. You know, once it gets rolling, especially a wind like this, if it gets kept up, that could be the difference of 10, 15, 20 meters.
Love it when it goes the right way. Hate it when it goes the wrong way.
Nugent. Gordon opens the arm, hits Brooking. Brooking to Nugent. Uh-oh, that got away, but Gordon might be able to save it. No, he won't. Take it away. Coquebert.
Oh,
and the next
an instant
throw.
turnover again.
Sarin goes back to Gordon. And he finds Brooking on the inside. Brooking fires. Hill hits in the corner to Sarin. And Clapham finally get a goal on a point with 8 turnovers.
Yeah, hold, but a very, very dirty hold. Hey, point on the board. Sometimes that's all that matters. Looks like there has been a timeout called. So we are just waiting to see. I haven't seen anybody actually signal anything on the field.
Yeah, you do see. I would imagine it would be an Iznogood timeout if it is indeed called, or is this just a chat between points here? Because we have seen a timeout, and we will take a break. We're gonna go And we'll be back with more action from London Invite.
What are they, spaceships from Mars? No, they're Frisbees. Watch it soar. It flies way around like a bird. You can even run for a pass. You can play all kinds of games. Isn't it amazing? Frisbee Flying Saucer. Yours at toy, drug, and department stores.
Welcome back to the action. Clapham Iznogood, Paris, London. It's 4 for Clapham, 2 for Iznogood, and we are 21.5 minutes into the game. I'm Stef Pazzo with Alana Archer. Happy to be bringing you the action. Happy to be here, Alana.
Yeah, I'm happy that it's not raining and that the sun has come out, and I'm happy to be watching some Frisbee. Can't complain.
It's the good stuff.
It's that good stuff. Izno coming out on offense.
And
Moving the disc quite well.
Bouchon always stays as the center of the offense and gets things going. Now they shoot for Bouchon, and he's there. He's one end and the other. Really motioning with his offhand. And he's spun around a couple times now. Clapham defense doing a good job until the scuba is thrown, and it's Olivier Gibert there to collect.
We love that Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Tough to defend over the top like that. Definitely a frustrating one as a defender. Feels like there's not much you can do, but here we'll see it again. You can see the frustration from some of the defense as they're coming off the pitch. But clean hold for Izno brings the score to 4-3 for Clapham. Thank you to our volunteers.
Doing a great job. We got scoring volunteers for the tournament. We also have stat-taking volunteers for the broadcast. Love to get all the extra info, and makes it easier for us to be able to relay it back to you at home.
And I think the players always like to have that kind of thing too.
James Mead in the center of the offense, kicks back to the corner, and Briggs goes up line to Ford. Briggs again. Mead, Modiano, and Briggs. Clapham looking at a Izno zone right now.
Definitely 5 red shots in quite a small little box.
Yeah, really asking Clapham to go over the top, and they do. Will Rollage, first touch of the game, and first touch in a while then, because he's been on the injury reserve. Happy to see him back. Probably not as happy as his teammates are to see him back. Modiano up line, and the good chase. That time it actually is at Ascio, and he runs it down for the goal.
Great patience by the Clapham offense there, playing through the zone, taking the kind of open options, passing it back and forth amongst the handler set before finding that very open pass. And that's what the Izno zone is trying to force, is something over the top in this wind that might go awry. Will be interesting to see how that continues all through the game. At a certain point, you can see one paying out.
You see Iznogood being coached right now by Benji Fenrich, a member of the World Games Club. He is Izno's captain this year, but obviously playing World Games takes priority.
Fair
for
enough.
The national team, but Benji, one of the fastest men in the sport, I would say, in the world, not in Europe, not in France. I don't know many people that I would bet against that would beat him in a race.
Me.
I'll take that bet. How much are we putting down, Lonzy?
A beer? I don't know.
All right, not much to lose there. Rouillard to Bouchon.
I don't back myself.
And right back to Ulysse Rouillard. Leading throw to Bouchon. He calls for some verticality in the cuts and then calls the foul, bump on the mark, Dan Hillman.
I think it was a pit call downfield. They are chatting between the force and the thrower, though, as well. One of my favorite things with the foul calls are the reenactments.
Yeah.
In isolation, they are hilarious.
Yeah, they really are. Oh, nice little guitar hero slide there. Connected with Gilbert. And gets an open look. This time it's Devois. Shimmy shake, Charrier, and Rouillard. Charrier, and again, Bouchon. And the French pop one over top. Right back to middle. Caligado shoots, and Rouillard can't get the hand there, despite going to ground.
Disc just pushed so low. Great bit there, though.
So Rag and Clapham will navigate the other way. East comes under, 2 hands on it. Now Wilson. That one to McCullough. Wilson. To East. And Hillman motions the scuba. Waits for McCullough. That bid had a chance, just missed.
As much as Bouchon is the hold on the big centering piece of that offense, he's had a couple of big defensive bids so far in this.
Started as a defensive player for sure, played many, many years as a defender.
You can tell.
Yeah, has great athleticism, but it also has a great range of throws. Turning into a complete player. And just missed there, but in missing it was Clapham who walked it in. And there's another look at that bid. How close was he? That's another break for Clapham, taking it to 6-3.
You can see the camera now on the Clapham huddle. This is one of their coaches, Chris, come over from Canada to coach them. But a team that historically has not had lots of coaching, I think that this is a good and a different shift for them.
And
but if not, thank you.
Abrams set to pull there. I think he just started playing Ultimate this year, Abrams.
Yeah, he's a Clapham rookie.
We're being very facetious.
That's a joke, everybody.
Abrams, a true vet. Seems ageless, really. He gives so much to this team. I really, really admire Abrams' game. He's got it all. And I've never been a part of a team, but from what I hear, a great captain, a great voice for the lads as well.
I think I've only ever heard positive things,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think the same.
Bouchon to Gilbert. Oh, a bobble, but recovery. And Bouchon, expressions of some frustration that he doesn't have many options to throw to.
Ooh.
Bid by East, but good collection there by Caligaro. Under to Riyad. And a big shot goes, but it's a bit too far in front.
Saren picking up the disc, looking for Sam Hill. Finds East. Hitting Nugent up the line. Looks like the turnover. Oh, potentially a foul, actually. Yes, foul. Looks like it's been accepted. There are the hand signals.
And Sam Hill takes from Nugent. Ross, the boss, Nugent, bossing this tournament. East goes to the aforementioned mum, Tom Abrams. Now Gordon finds a seam, hits for Sam Hill. And Clapham strike again, 7-3 now.
Another break, starting to run away with it a little bit, catching that momentum. A couple of mis-executions by Izno, and Clapham, a team that just punishes, takes advantage and punish those mistakes.
You can't make too many mistakes against a team like Clapham. They will make you pay. That has been proven year after year for, well, the better part of a decade. I'm just seeing now that Iznogood is motioning for another timeout to be called. And so with that, we'll take a break too and be back with more action from London Invite.
Yeah, look, all of my friends going crazy. I gotta brag on myself.
Shopping Zillow and need a trusted resource for your real estate questions? Want to check on loan pre-approval? Reach out to HomeForce, an all-in-one home buying service engineered for ultimate players, fans, and friends. The HomeForce team provides services in real estate, mortgage financing, insurance, and much more. No pressure, no commitment, just trusted advice.
Seven 7-3, Clapham leading Izno. Live action from London Invite. The biggest tournament in the world right now.
The biggest tournament ever.
That is the Hill family grandma, Sam Hill's grandma, Cy Hill's mom in the house, the whole Hill contingent.
You see Georgie Hill, M Hill was just on the stream playing with Smog, Georgie playing with LMU. They are the UKU, like, royal
Royalty,
family.
exactly that. From where the roots originate.
They do a lot for the sport here. It's, I mean, UKU obviously, but they're a big part of the community.
Rag calling down. I think I disagree with that. Let's see if we get another look. I think a trailing edge touched, but I think he had the hands on it first. Oh,
Ooh.
actually, he has a case there. I don't know if it's conclusive, but
Looks like it's been retracted. But like you said, couldn't entirely see. I understand why the call was made. Great D there by Hillman.
Gets up in the lane. Looked like the throw was good, actually, but Hillman made an exceptional play. Hillman now goes to Rag. And Rag around. It's floaty, but still Hillman makes another play in the air. Rag. Seam through the middle. McCullough. And McCullough fires a little anxiously there, and a turnover is the result.
A sling.
And look at that speed, the pickup there, but could not milk it all the way in, Devois. Turns around into the backfield, pops Gibert. And boom, hits for the goal. Devois is in. I was not sure for a second. There was a no react, but they do get the goal.
Always makes me nervous. I'm like, is it in? Is it not in? I feel like a lot of the time you just have people aggressively committing and celebrating. Then you're much more likely to get believed that it is in. The score now 7 to Clapham, 4 to Iznogood. Have to see something coming out of this Izno D line, try and shift that. Be curious to see if they go for the zone again. Or maybe the handless sag.
Briggs. Eyes into a Izno zone.
Called it.
Lonzie's getting them all right today. Maybe she could win that race against Fenriche.
Just saying. Never in doubt.
With the wind, just a big gust there. Maybe as strong as I've felt it today. As Briggs throws low, Modiano catches. And Briggs with eyes upfield, back to Ford, long to Yo, and back again. Izno zone doing a good job to up the pass count here. No obvious holes to attack yet. And Briggs fires to Ford.
They're slowly moving up the field, but it's been quite baby steps.
I mean, and this is the kind of thing that you don't mind with blustery conditions like this, because the higher the pass count gets, the more likely that turn will come, as it did right there.
Izno's D-line, let's see what they got.
Nice upfield throw there by Quinton. And the touch, but it's still...
Oh! Double D!
Double D indeed. I thought there was a second chance off the Mac, but there wasn't. Taken away again.
Fantastic play. there by Wilson. Great toes. Keep the disc in by Ford. Immediately rips the hammer to Rowledge.
And he gets Modiano and right back to Conrad Wilson. Briggs to Ford. Motions the hammer, then to Briggs. Briggs gets low for the throw. Long shovels, and Wilson on the reception for the goal.
Frustrating, I think, for the Iznogood D-line, I'd imagine. Had your chance.
Yeah,
But
they certainly
getting,
did.
Get that zone is it got the turn.
Got the turn once. You can't ask for too much more than one takeaway from Clapham. You know, we had one 8-turn point, but those aren't going to happen just that frequently.
Yeah, not the most likely thing, but not sure if this Okay, we have moved to halftime, so going to take a break here and have a listen to one of our sponsors.
Shopping Zillow and need a trusted resource for your real estate questions? Want to check on loan pre-approval? Reach out to HomeForce, an all-in-one home buying service engineered for ultimate players, fans, and friends. The HomeForce team provides services in real estate, mortgage financing, insurance, and much more. No pressure, no commitment, just trusted advice.
What are they, spaceships from Mars? No, they're Frisbees. Watch it soar. It flies way around like a bird. You can even run for a pass. You can play all kinds of games. Isn't it amazing? Frisbee Flying Saucer. Yours at toy, drug, and department stores.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Shopping Zillow and need a trusted resource for your real estate questions? Want to check on loan pre-approval? Reach out to HomeForce, an all-in-one home buying service engineered for ultimate players, fans, and friends. The HomeForce team provides services in real estate, mortgage financing, insurance, and much more. No pressure, no commitment, just trusted advice.
We are back. It's 8-4, Clapham over Iznogood. And it's good times here in London today. It's good times for Clapham with a big halftime lead, 8-4 over Iznogood. They are seeking answers. I'm Stef and Pazzo right alongside Alana Archer, bringing you the action. Nice first half for Clapham, Alana.
Yeah, nice first half for Clapham. They're looking in control. Iznogood throwing a zone. Finding a little bit of success with that, so it'd be interesting to see if they throw it again. But to no avail.
Rouillard takes the disc and, ooh, I thought that was going. I thought it was a good look. Bouchon versus Nugent.
Ooh.
And instead he goes conservative. Saren steps in and gets the help block. Now Gordon. Nugent to Abrams. Abrams pivots into the mark, very much so. And now Gordon goes into the backfield. Saren. Ollie Gordon holds on to the fake. And leads in to Ollie Gordon for the goal. And Clapham opened the second half with a nice break again.
Clapham just being quite clinical, hitting their resets, clearing hard. It's good stuff, good Frisbee.
Good Frisbee indeed by the Bullfrogs as they charge forwards. We're 45 and change into this one. Again, 70-minute game, so still 25 to go. Lots of time. Not Iznogood's biggest issue right now. Theirs is offensive efficiency for sure. Finding ways around Clapham's varying defensive looks. Coach Chris Artabello here for Clapham from Canada. I believe it's the first time he's been with the team over on the far sideline, walking in front of the stands right now.
He was actually at Elite Invite in Leuven.
I tell a lie. I was not at Elite Invite. That's why I wasn't able to pick up on that.
But yes.
But yeah,
new to the
Clapham scene.
Yeah.
The new Clapham don't often have dedicated coach. This year they have two. Sean Colfer, the other, who's not here, may be here tomorrow. Some possibility.
It's crazy to me the number of teams that don't have committed non-playing coaches.
Yeah.
It's, I think, one of the biggest barriers.
I mean, I can understand people being picky about who they get, but the consideration of one should be an essential at this stage for Elite Ultimate. And sure, you may not find the perfect fit. Okay, I understand, but you should be looking hard for the perfect fit.
I agree.
As Izno go to David, or potentially David. And now Bouchon sends. Gilbert is there.
Gilbert is there indeed.
And no
Looks
call.
like there's.
It was not celebrated to goal. That one just seemed anticlimactic for some reason. They had reason to be excited, and there was no excitement.
Wonder if there was a call potentially on the field that they just decided didn't affect.
Yeah, who knows?
Brings the score to 9-5.
What a way to make a living.
Oh my God. Someone give me strength.
Who you call a god around here?
I don't know. It's not you. That's what you're insinuating.
Oh, I mean, I thought you were insinuating that, Alana.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Lots of action this week, as you all know well. After this game on this field, we will have USA taking on Germany. At the same time, SuperTeam taking on Canada under 24, and on field 4, free to watch, Australia versus France. World Games teams again. Wild that we're getting this action. Right here is Clapham. Yo to Ford. And back again, and travel called. Modiano has to go to ground to keep it alive, but does. Ford finds, not quite in, but right there.
Ooh.
And finally, Modiano hits to Yo, and Clapham tack on another, doubling up is no good. 10-5 at present.
Lots of quick movements there. Hard, that defender just getting split right on the end zone line.
Another big gust there.
Sam Hill with the pull. Izno's O-line quite deep, but opts to shoot deep anyway.
Yeah, targeting Bouchon, I don't mind, but went into double coverage there, Rouillard, and he's going to put that one. How did he not? Sends to center, Gibert. And overshoots, and now a chance as Mum intercepts to Gordon. Abrams. And that one bounces off the hands of Brookings. Brooking. He's a singular, not a plural.
He's a singular, not a plural.
A dear investment for Clapham and their youth. Abrams to East, and Sarin on the far sideline. Sarin, nice throw to East.
That lefty power.
And East approaches, shoots, not in, Butt is there. Charlie Butt pivots and engages the dump only. Now gets the fill from Abrams. Tom Abrams, and that one kind of goes through Sam Hill.
The Izno defense really kind of like crowding in that corner, making life really difficult for all of those resets. You saw East struggle, not getting open, but running through like 3 different people. It looks like your best bet is to try and get over the top of it, but challenge that I would not want to face.
That
in
is
this
a
one.
boost.
That is, looks like it's out the. No.
Mom wins the race, steals position, and takes it away.
Felt like it was going forever.
I thought that was a great choice. I really did think that that was a disc that should have been taken by Raphael Chariex, but Mom really showing his experience there. And his speed, in fact. I thought he actually won the straightaway. But if he would have got there under a float, I would have backed him to take position from a younger player. I think that's something that I would have expected, but for him to do it with the wheels was something that I was happy to see.
Get on your horse. Let's go, lads.
Sam Hill waits and breaks to East.
No force on the mark.
Sarin goes inside to Charlie Butt. Deep was coming by Brooking, but there was one back to help, and this one, Bouchon went up early. That was enough devoir to Bouchon. Bouchon finds for the goal, and Izno are back on the board with a 6-10 deficit against Clapham here. "55 minutes into the contest, Alana would take a heroic effort from Iznogood to be able to get back into this one. That was the U.S. World Games team. They are on this field next. Against Germany, a team who shocked the world and knocked them off at the last World Games in Birmingham. Very different German team, but you know, I think they both retooled. There's a very different U.S. team as well, of course.
Yeah, but we love an upset. Always here for it.
And Germany went on to be the team of the World Games, I think, in its entirety, not just in Ultimate.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure they were, yeah, that was the award given to them. Did have a great run. They're, you know, knocking off the U.S., making the semis. They were 4th place eventually.
Yeah.
But I think exceeding many expectations in doing that. And Yo and the Clapham backfield get things moving and keep things moving right now. Bouncing off that sideline. Yo and Wilson goes to Modiano. Wilson is low and calls the foul on the Simon foot that touches there. Modiano was very nice. Good seam. Clapham well into the red zone. Modiano finds his way around left hand, and I thought it is a goal. Yes,
yeah.
he did stick it. There was a little discussion again, but a heck of a catch. I thought that was out of the range.
Yeah, really impressive. Almost like extendo arms.
Let's have another look. I didn't get the clearest view of it. Yeah, that's a very nice catch. Odd angle too. It's like he had to spin his hand around after he went into the air to make that work.
I'm not sure if it was in, but hey, take what you're given. Clapham up 11-6. Great roller pull, going all the way back to the back of the end zone.
Was it touched?
I don't think he touched it.
Okay.
He's saying he didn't. I don't think he did from where I was, but.
Oh, a wide around, but nice, unorthodox looking mechanics on that throw, but it hits perfectly in this wind. Ruyard goes to the inside, finds David.
Pick cooled downfield. Don't know if it affected that, but definitely in the cutting space.
Disc will go back to David.
Okay. The Izno cut is really far away from the little handling set.
Gibert fires. This one will not likely stay in bounds and bounces off the hill.
You should have put a bet on that.
I would want it again. Have I been winning the bets or have you?
I think it's been me, except for the race that hasn't happened.
Yeah, it doesn't need to, I'm telling you. Wilson puts the foot down in bounds. Wind up there by East, puts it away. Rag Goes up the middle. Gordon kicks out to Magnus Wilson. Wilson leads and big block. Rouillard gets in front of Eels. Rouillard does that a lot. He leaves his feet. He was a pickup in the year we were going to Worlds. We'd already done selection, lost a player, and his resume was basically a couple clips from Tom's tourney of him getting layout Ds caught on iPhones that were sent to me, and I was like, yeah, right, let's take it.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
And he was worth his weight in gold. Also, the player who caught the game-winning catch when France knocked out USA on the beach in the semifinal. Yeah. And a big part of that campaign when they went on to win gold the next game against Spain.
I'm impressed that he can play in glasses.
Yeah, me too. I've seen that pop off for sure and been very worried about him. But yeah, it's less often than you would imagine.
I used to play in glasses and it never went well for me.
62 minutes in now. This is a long point. Bragg to Charlie Butt, who elevates. Rag sends the backhand. He's got 3 white shirts behind any red, and it's Magnus Wilson who gets up big to take it down.
Big man doing big things, making big plays.
It's the stuff. Gordon gets it from Rag. Back again. Nathan Rag bouncing off that pivot foot, then chisels as Rouillard bids again. Ooh. And the pressure coming from all angles. Is there a conversation here?
Yeah.
It was Harry Ogden who wasn't able to stick it, but there's a call. Let's have a look. I mean, he was on the hip there. I didn't think there was like heavy contact. There was maybe grazing contact. I don't know if we're gonna get a chance for another look. Would be nice if we did. So here it is. I think there was very little contact.
It looks like it's been retracted on the field, and the turnover is standing, which I think here we agree with based on the replay. But sometimes it's hard. I don't ever want to make a comment when you I can't fully see.
Yeah, it's
You're
tough.
you never really know.
I mean, and you can feel that there was some contact. There was a graze on the hip. Their bodies did touch. Was that the big difference why he was not able to clasp the hand? I don't believe so. And I'm happy after a conversation and a second thought,
I'm pro
there was
cool
agreement.
And retract it if you need, but that's a big turnover there on the end zone line.
Picked up by Rag, one throw, hits, and Clapham capitalize eventually. Magnus Wilson gets the goods on the goal scoring stat.
And I think that's another break.
Yes, it is.
So
one more break against, and there can't be more than 5 minutes once we see that clock pop back up on our screen again, but we are pushing to the end. Clapham can all but chalk this one up in the win column right now.
Five minutes and 1 second.
5 minutes. Alana Archer got to play yesterday in a friendly game against the Tokay SuperTeam. Did you enjoy yourself?
Well, first off, every game is a friendly game when you're me.
When everybody's friends.
Yeah, I did. All jokes aside, it was good. It's a bit tough sometimes coming in. It's off to work, not a full squad, hard to get your brain in it. I think we struggled a bit on the energy front, but it's good. Not every day that you get to play against some of these players, and a lot of them that I've played against a couple of times throughout this season already. So good to see some familiar faces and some friends.
Wonderful. We were really excited to have that opportunity.
As were we.
There is 4 minutes left, 3 minutes and 55 seconds, in fact. Alana and I are having a competition for precise time calls now.
It helps when there's a clock running in front of me, but okay.
It requires the tiniest bit of math skills.
Does it?
But I would hope that both of us at this age have the required abilities.
Mental
Far
math,
sideline.
not my best.
Gilbert without the red hat threw me off there for a second.
Ooh! Another sneaky poach block by Saren.
Saren has been impressing me. One of the rooks. Goes to East. East to Mead, back again. East looking for answers. Floats laterally to Mead. Saren, the block getter. Mead takes a look at the end zone. Still looking up line now. Back to center, Saren. Exchange, Saren again. Ooh. Floaty, second chance, and it's given. Will Rollage, some way, somehow, gets his hands on that for a goal.
I don't think that that's as was initially planned, but hey, love to see it.
Take them as they come.
One might also say it's just visionary.
I don't think one would say that.
I did.
Oh,
I'm one. I'm a singular one.
We got to put Alana's credentials into question here. I kid, Alana. She just gave me death stare.
I kid.
Saren having some attention. Not sure what happened there. And there you see the return of Will Rollage, goal scorer there. But, you know, one of the great players, one of the great athletes on this Clapham team. He is in fine form, a shredded being of an athlete, but does give so much to Clapham. And whether they missed him or not is always tough to say on you know, teams that are so well-rounded top to bottom, but they're certainly going to be happy to have him back and have him adding and contributing even more. Clapham had a tough go at Elite Invite, of course. I read a stat, it was the first time in nearly 20 years that Clapham went through a day one of any tournament 0-3. As Izno wind up and fire, Bouchon boosted, and it looks good. Yo can't quite get there and apologizes for bouncing off Gilbert, but that youngster looks very good, Gilbert, going up and taking that down.
He didn't even seem fussed. It's like, oh, did you touch me? I didn't notice. But good to see. Sometimes incidental contact happens when you're just trying to fight for the disc. But it looks like that is the end of the game based on the time cap.
And with that, we got one in the books here. And Clapham take the win. Izno with the L, and they will both progress to see their next round. For us, a look at the next round of broadcast action. This field will be mixed, so well, the whole round coming up next, mixed. USA, Germany right here on this field. The Tokay SuperTeam taking on Canada under 24 on field 3. And Australia, the Crocs, taking on the French national team, both World Games on field 4. Hope you can catch all the action. Quick look at our game stats. Anything that jumps out to you, Alana?
I think the biggest one is tons and break chances to actual breaks.
Yeah, Clapham generating 14 is huge, and of course a better conversion rate too. So with that, we will take it to the end of broadcasts here for the ULTI.TV team. For Alana Archer, I've been Stef Pazzo. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you. Thanks.
ULTI.TV.
Outside, trying to get your attention. You make me nervous.